Turn me up just a little bit. Yeah, it's that man space vibe. Step in the zone, microphone check. Russ and Les got the real intellect. Talk smooth like jazz on a late night set. With a convo deep and the topics connect. From the struggles to the wins, they address it with grace. Drop lines so cool, you can feel the bass. Two kings of the craft, and you know the rest. Kick back, pour a drink, welcome to the space. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. Hang out, cause now you vibing with nothing but the best. Space forever.
Welcome in to another edition of the Man Space Podcast. Now, this is more and more of the Russ and Company series. This is where I interview some of my famous friends all across the country, and today is no different. Now, Man Space Nation, it's getting warmer out, and I know a lot of us didn't get rid of those winter pounds that we want to get ready to for the summer. We're not summer body ready, but we've all heard about all the fad diets, the Ozempics and the Wegovy's and intermittent fasting and, the Mediterranean diets and all these different things that are out there. And we're all trying those things other than the fact of stop putting so much in your mouth. But my guest today, he sat there and he did something that a lot of us really, really struggle with. He lost the weight and kept it off. One of the things that we find with dieting and losing weight is the minute that we stop doing it, we end up gaining the weight back plus more. So my guest today, not only did he lose 220 pounds, he was able to keep it off for over 17 years. He's going to be with us today to talk about his method, his process, and everything to lose that weight. And he goes on a journey to help others conquer that weight as well. But he's also a CPA in the meantime. So we're going to have a little conversation about that as well, too. Man Space Nation, give it up for my guest, Mr. Stanley Bronstein. Welcome in, sir. How are you?
Fine, sir. Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, I just have to ask you, losing 220 pounds, what was the tipping point for you to say, hey, I need to make a change?
Well, there's two phases. There's saying you need to make a change and then actually doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of separate things. And my story's a little confusing. So let me kind of clarify it all.
Yeah, sure.
I'll give you the real quick rundown. Okay. My battle with weight started when I was 8 years old. My mother died. Mm-hmm. It messed with my head. I'm living with my massively obese father who had no clue how to eat healthy. And we both just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
A lot of men like to brag that they weigh same thing they weigh when they got married. I weigh less than I did when I was 13 years old. I mean, that's how bad it is if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I actually found pictures to prove it. So anyway, I dealt with weight loss struggles. I mean, I had one time I lost 75, 80 pounds along the way. But then I went on a road trip with some friends of mine, and there were cookies in the back seat. And I had an intimate love affair with those cookies in the back seat. And boom, weight came back on plus more. So,
yeah. And
I had another time where I lost 100 pounds in my last year of law school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a lawyer. I lost 100 pounds in my last year of law school. And over time, I slowly started putting that back on, but I never put all of it back on.
Okay.
And the reasons why, it's something I like to say. Temporary change is going to give you temporary results. Permanent change is going to give you permanent results. Any changes I made to lose weight that were temporary, the weight came back on plus more when I went back to my old habits. A few changes I made that were permanent, like I used to get up and eat meals in the middle of the night. I stopped eating meals in the middle of the night. The second time when I lost 100 pounds, I stopped eating meals in the middle of the night. And even though I started putting weight back on, because I never started eating meals in the middle of the night again, I only put 60 of the 100 back on, not 100.
Right.
So that was a permanent change that was good for some permanent results. So now let's move you forward. Getting ready to turn 50 years old. That was 17 years ago today. And I want to clarify the introduction a teeny bit. I haven't kept it off for 17 years. My journey started 17 years ago.
Okay.
And I've never gone back. So in some ways you can say I've kept it off for 17 years, but I didn't actually get to where I am now till probably about 7 years ago,
Okay.
or something like that, so whatever, but I haven't gone backwards. I want to clarify that. So getting ready to turn 50, a lot of men, if you're listening, getting ready to turn 50, that's a big age. Start asking yourself questions. And you might ask the questions when you're 40, you might ask them when you're 60. At the time, I weighed 320 pounds. I wasn't at my max. This is what I looked like when I was at my max. I was 367. I had a 58-inch waist, and I'm 5'7". Today, I'm still 5'7", but I have a 31-inch waist. No drugs, no surgeries. These two people have the same DNA, but as you're going to hear me talk about, they're not the same people.
Wow.
Now, so I was 320, still pretty big. I asked myself, I woke up, I said, and I was feeling pretty disgusted with myself, to be honest with you, really bad. So I said, where am I going to be in 5 years if I keep doing what I'm doing? Well, I didn't like the answer to that question because the answer was I'm going to be dead.
Right.
And I decided I didn't want to be dead. So I said, time to make some changes. Now, that was not the first time I told myself I needed to make changes. But it was the first time, and it wasn't the first time I started acting on the need to make changes. It was the first time that I permanently started acting to make changes. Permanent is the key. You want permanent changes? You want permanent results? Make permanent changes. That's the key. So I said, what do I need to do here? I came up with 4 things that I started with. First thing, I don't know if I was an alcoholic or not, but I was drinking scotch every day, and I was drinking more than I should. And the alcohol was not serving me. I was serving it. So I said, no more. I believe in symbolism. I took my last bottle of scotch, poured it down the toilet, hit flush, gone. I've not had a drink in 17 years. Now, let's talk about addiction for a second. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people struggle with kicking alcohol. I didn't. It was actually easy for me. I went cold turkey and it wasn't hard. And I think it's because I wasn't physically addicted to it. If anything, I was emotionally addicted to it. It was my crutch. It was my friend. It made me feel good. I wanted it. But I also think because of the 4th change I made, which I'll get to in a second, it made it easier because I found something positive to replace it. Because everybody talks about, well, I got to take away. It's equally important that you find something positive to replace what you're taking.
Replace it with, right.
So I quit drinking. Haven't had a drink in 17 years. Don't miss it. 2-liter bottles of soda pop. I was drinking 3 of those a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, but they were diet caffeine free. So they tell us those are healthy, right?
Right. No,
they're not. They're garbage. That's my opinion. They're garbage. We're being misled. We're being given bad information by companies that want to make money off of us. It's all about the money.
Right.
So same thing. Took my last 2-liter bottle of soda, poured it down the toilet, hit flush, gone. Haven't had one in 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
Don't miss it. And believe it or not, I found it harder to kick the soda pop than I did the scotch. If you can believe that.
Yeah, I can believe that one. I definitely can believe that one.
You know why? Because I didn't drink the scotch all day, every day, but I did drink the soda pop all day.
Yeah.
That's why it was easier. It was harder. So then the third thing, I said, I'm going to make a dietary change. I like chicken and turkey, so I'm going to quit eating beef and pork.
Mm-hmm. So
I quit eating beef and pork. And that was an interesting change because my father was a butcher and I grew up in a home with unlimited free meat. Mm-hmm. So to quit eating red meat, that was interesting, but it wasn't bad. Then I said, I need some exercise here. I picked walking. I said, walking is going to be my exercise of choice. And the reason why I picked walking, I said, you don't need a lot of special equipment. Right. You can do it almost anywhere, almost any time. And I figured it would beat me up less than any other form of exercise. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start trying to walk every day. Now, in the beginning, when I started, I had trouble walking 2 or 3 blocks. That's how much my knees hurt and how out of breath I was. So I found a gym that was open 24 hours that had a pool. And I started going to the gym in the middle of the night when the pool was empty, and I started walking laps.
Gotcha. Take the pressure off the knees.
Yeah, 30 minutes, then an hour, then 2 hours, 3 hours. I set a goal that I wanted to do a 5-hour pool walk on my 50th birthday. It took me 4 months to get there. 50th birthday, I did the 5-hour pool walk. I had lost 50 pounds by then. And 2 days later, I did a 5.5-hour pool walk. Just because I could. So because of the walking, I think that helped me with the giving up of the alcohol and the soda pop and the dietary changes, because it gave me something positive to do. And when you walk as much as you do like that, you spend a lot of time with the most interesting person you're going to ever meet, yourself. Yeah. And you do a lot of thinking, heavy duty thinking. And by then I was on a roll and I was off to the races. Over time, I started walking outside, and then I started walking more and more and more. 4 or 5 years into it or so, I got to the point where I was literally walking 10 to 15 miles every day. Seriously.
Wow.
And enjoying it. But I was sore sometimes, but I was doing it. And I said, I'm going to make another dietary change. I gave up chicken and turkey. I kept eating eggs and cheese, but essentially, I went vegetarian. From the moment I went vegetarian over 12 years ago, I have been sick 1 time.
Wow.
And that was for 3 days. And honestly, I don't think it was sickness because I got exposed to something. I think it was sickness because one of the things I discovered as I was burning the fat on my body, all the past excesses I had in my life were stored in my body fat. And as the body fat was burning off, that stuff was getting released in your bloodstream. Like, for example, I'd wake up in the morning with a hangover, even though I hadn't had scotch in years.
Wow.
Because it was in my fat. And as I was burning the fat, it was coming out into my bloodstream. So I got sick that 1 time for 3 days. Since that day, I have walked 2 hours or more every day. Tomorrow will be my 8-year anniversary. 2 hours or more every day. And I've not been sick once. And that includes getting exposed to COVID. My wife caught COVID in the airport, brought it home. She brought it home. My body, I immediately sensed that she was sick. And for 2 days, I was at 75%, but I still did my walking. Then my body threw it off, and I kept going like nothing happened. Now, I had the vaccine, so I'm sure that helped. But the point is, because of the dietary changes I have made, I think it has built up my immune system so much that I'm just vastly healthier. My energy's through the roof. I had somebody ask me, do I take caffeine? I go, no, I don't need to. because my energy is already through the roof. I'd hate to see what I'd be like if I did have caffeine. I'd be nuts. So I'm very particular about what I eat. And honestly, it's all the inputs in my body. I'm not only careful about what food goes in my mouth, I'm careful about what thoughts go in my head. You know, as Mahatma Gandhi said, never let anyone walk through your mind with their dirty feet. You know, and I'm very careful about the people I hang around with.
Right.
Things I do. For example, it's 4:45 here right now in the afternoon where I'm at. Do I have something better I could do right now? Maybe. But I'm having a quality conversation about a quality subject with a quality individual. So that's good.
For that.
That's how you're welcome. So that's how I want to be spending my time. Hanging around quality people, doing quality things.
That is awesome.
So since that day I started, I've literally turned into a walking machine. To show you how much walking I've done, on my present pace, by my birthday in June, I will have walked around the earth at the equator 3 times.
Wow.
In the last 17 years. That's a lot of walking. Now,
that is a lot.
People ask me, do I have to do that much walking? No, you don't.
Right.
I tell people, focus on 20 minutes a day. If you can walk more than that and you want to, wonderful. But 20 minutes a day will get the job done. That's all you need to do. So why do I walk so much if I only need 20 minutes a day? Because I can. See, I am in year 18 of searching for my limits. I haven't found them yet. Because what losing this weight and keeping it off and turning into a walking machine has taught me is that I am more powerful than I ever imagined. Way more powerful than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an attorney, a CPA. I've had a very successful business career. I could retire right now if I wanted to, but I'm having too much fun. I don't want to. But the point is, I'm a confident man.
Yeah.
I've always been a confident man. But would you believe me if I told you the experience of doing what I've done has blown my mind?
Yeah, actually I would. Yeah.
That's how much it's exceeded what I thought I could do. So that's taught me another thing. It led me to realize that if I'm more powerful than I ever imagined, so is everyone else. So you hear that. If you're listening, you are more powerful than you ever imagined. I promise you that. Realize that. And once you realize that you are more powerful than you ever imagined, you start asking yourself some questions. And the question I asked myself was, if I'm capable of losing all this weight, if I'm capable of turning into a walking machine, what else is out there waiting for me to do that I haven't done yet that I should be doing? And the answer I came up with was taking everything I've learned, putting it into a system so that I can teach it to others so that they can change their lives too. See, Russ, it took me 49 and a half years to change my life in an instant.
Yeah.
Now I help people learn how to change their life in an instant without waiting 49 and a half years. You don't need to. You don't need to hit rock bottom. You don't need to wait for your life to fall apart. All you need to do is become permanently willing to do what it takes.
Yeah.
That's it. And we're going to talk about that as we get into the system. So one last thing, and then I'll go.
Sure.
So actually, I did cover it. I said I came up with the system. Now go ahead. What was your question, please?
So a lot of times growing up, and I grew up in one of those households that you had bread with every meal. And then after dinner, you instantly had a dessert. And
Same here.
it was trained trained into that.
Yep.
And
Sure
even,
was.
when I got out on my own, I believed, after dinner, gotta have something sweet,
You know what that means, Russ? That means you've already had your lifetime share of that stuff. Time to try something else.
Well, see, that's what I'm trying to get to. It's like, how do you break that mindset? Because that's one of my hardest struggles. I can get away for a little while, and I I'll do good for a month, 2 months, 3 months,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden I may see a slice of key lime pie sitting there, and it's like, oh, here we go.
Okay.
And after that one bite, it's like, oh, it's on.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You sort of answered it.
Mhm.
First of all, everyone, you and everyone listening, and me included, we are all human beings. If there's one thing I can 100% guarantee you, you are going to screw up from time to time. You're going to screw up big time from time to time. Guaranteed. Promise.
Yeah.
You can take that to the bank. That is my
Mhm.
telling you, that is my gift to you. Now, the question becomes, what are you going to do when you screw up? Okay, you said key lime pie.
Mhm.
In my case, it was cookies. Way
Mhm.
back when. Okay. You had the key lime pie. You screwed up. Shouldn't have had it. You know it.
Yeah.
You feel like crap. Why did I do that? I'm a failure. I'm no good. I'm worthless. Or that's what the old Russ did. That's what the old Stanley did. Or you can sit there and say, I screwed up. I made a mistake. Mistakes are proof that I'm trying.
I like that.
So, what can I learn from that mistake? Well, key lime pie is one of my enemies.
Mm.
So, one of the things I like to do when I see something I shouldn't have, I give it the mark of the X.
Okay.
I do. I look at it and go, or go, Tony Robbins says, imagine it's a record player, take the needle and scratch it. But sit there and say, no. Okay, so I ate that key lime. You ate that key lime pie. Now, the old Russ, who's a failure, who's worthless, who's ashamed of himself, says, okay, I screwed up. I feel like shit. So now let's go eat some more crap.
Yeah.
Because that'll make me in the short term feel better. Long term, it'll make you feel worse. But, just keep going. Or screwed up. I learned something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hop right back on. I fell down. I'm going to get right back up and I'm going to keep going again. Fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Get up, Nate.
See, I've probably fallen down 1,000 times and got up 1,001. And the last time I got up, baby, I haven't fallen down again. Because I was so strong from falling down so many times. And to be honest with you, I was disgusted with myself. I was. That day, February 1st, 2009, I was disgusted. Now, let me ask you a question. Why was it February 1st, not January 1st? Care to guess?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I made a New Year's resolution and I blew it. I blew it. I failed. I was worthless. I screwed up. But this time, it took me a month, but this time I got back up. And I never fell down again.
Yeah.
That's the trick. Get started, never stop. You ever see the movie Galaxy Quest?
Yes.
Never give up, never surrender. That's what it is. Never give up, never surrender. That's the secret. And you screwed it. See, and pay attention to the words you tell yourself. You sat there and you said, I'm paraphrasing here, you said, piece of key lime pie will come up, I'll eat that, and then I'm off to the races again.
Yep.
I want you to add something to that the next time you say that.
Okay.
Piece of key lime pie came up. I ate it. And in the past, I was off to the races again and all the weight would come back on. But this is the present and I'm moving toward the future. So I can do something different.
Yeah.
That's where your power comes from. How do you phrase it? How do you look at it? How do you think about it? It's a matter of perspective. And can I share a story with you about perspective? It's going to take a couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
But this is a powerful story.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I got started in 2009, I had mornings where I didn't want to walk. I don't feel like it. I don't want to go walking. Well, I remembered a woman I had met 2 years earlier in 2007. Her name was Peggy Chun. Where I met her, I was writing a book where I drove around the whole United States, and I was going to interview 50 people who did amazing things, get their stories, and put them into a book. Well, I started the trip in Honolulu, Hawaii. I mean, if you're going to go nationwide, might as well start in Hawaii, right? So I'm in Hawaii. First person I interviewed said, "Are you going to be interviewing Peggy Chun?" And I said, "Who's Peggy Chun? Never heard of her." He said, "Oh, you got to go talk to her." I found her daughter's phone number. I called her daughter and I told her who I was. I said, "Can I come over and talk to your mother?" She said, "Yes." Well, Peggy Chun, when I met her, was in the terminal stages of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
Okay.
Completely bedridden, on a ventilator, could not move, could not speak. The only way she could communicate, trained people could hold up an eye chart and they could read her eye movements and she could spell out words. It took me 2 hours to do a 20-minute interview with her. When I saw her and I met her, I'm being honest here, the thought that went through my mind was, if I ever get like that, I want to be dead. I don't want to live like that. But that was not Peggy's perspective. Peggy's perspective was, my grandkids are coming over later today. I can see the sun outside the window. It looks like a beautiful sunny day. They're going to take me outside and we're going to paint and I'm going to play with my grandkids and we're going to have a great time. You're getting ready to drive around the country and you're going to interview these 50 amazing people. Tell me about every one of them. I want to hear their stories, what they've done. That sounds like so much fun. I wish I could go with you. This woman who was in a state where I would want to be dead had more joy for life than anyone I've met in my whole 66 years.
Wow.
So what's the takeaway from that? I didn't realize it at the time and she didn't realize it at the time. But what she subconsciously taught me was, anytime I didn't feel like walking, I sat there and I asked myself, you know the old saying, what would Jesus do? I said, what would Peggy Chun do if she could? And the answer is Peggy Chun would have gotten her lazy butt out of bed and she'd have gone for a walk and she might not ever come back because she was having such a good time. So anytime I didn't want to walk, I said, this one's for you, Peggy. And I went out the door and I walked anyway.
Wow.
You know, so all these things, if you are still alive and you are still breathing, you have an opportunity. It is not too late.
It's not too late. Yeah.
You know, whereas I'll share another story with you. One of my older brothers, he was 60. He went in for heart surgery. He told his wife when he was going into surgery, when I get out of here, I'm going to spend time with Stanley. I want to learn what he's doing and I'm going to lose weight. Only problem was he didn't make it home. He died in the hospital. So the point is, he's dead. He can't do these things. I was still alive when I started making my changes. I could do the things. If you're still alive and you're still breathing, it's not too late. Do it now. You can. You're more powerful than you ever imagined. You have the power. You can do it. Don't let your past You know, when you're making an investment in stocks, what do they tell you?
Mhm.
They tell you past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance.
Future growth. Yeah.
Well, duh. If that applies for stocks, why doesn't it apply for being a human being?
Mm.
Past screw ups are not necessarily indicative of
Yeah.
your future.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But the
Yeah.
problem is that's not what we're taught, and that's not what
Yeah.
we believe.
Now, I've talked about this several times on previous episodes of the Manspace podcast where I had met this iridologist, and it's a study where they give you a full physical through your eye. They have a
Yeah.
whole yeah.
I
So,
dated a girl before I got married. We went on like 2 dates, and that's what she did.
well, I didn't think it was valid. I was like, whatever this, I'll go through it. I'll listen to whatever he says, right? So he looks in my eye and he says, I see you had an ulcer at one time that's healed. And I was like, whoa, okay. Yeah, I did have one at one time that is, pretty much had healed. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give him some validity in what he's doing.
Okay.
And he got into the whole eating system and everything. So it was not like you starting out not eating beef or pork. And so for the longest time, I didn't eat beef or pork. But then once I got married, my wife started introducing it and I would eat it some. And I got, getting him involved, I got away from it. But he was saying you don't eat any hooved animals. And if you eat chicken, only eat the breast because that's the one part of the chicken that doesn't carry blood. And that's always stuck in my mind is like, don't eat the wings, the legs, all
Whole
the
problem
thighs.
is wings are the best tasting part. That's the only
They
problem.
are. They're the tastiest part. But
Yeah.
that's where the blood is, and that's what gets injected, and that's why you get these gigantic oversized wings and all the chemical hormones and stuff that they pump into it all gets injected into the bloodstream. So you don't eat parts of the meats that have blood. So that's what I stayed away from.
Okay, I used to eat 18 wings at one setting.
Yeah, I was right there with you.
I'm talking about the full wing, not the little sections.
Oh,
There'd be
okay. Well,
a boneyard in front of me by the time I got finished.
well, I don't think I did the full wings. Now I might have had the party drumettes, but
Yeah,
but
but but the point is,
yeah,
your food is important.
yeah,
See, I'm vegan now,
mm-hmm,
and I don't even eat processed food anymore.
mm,
Anything, even all these vegan, the fake meats, the Impossible
yeah,
burgers. I won't touch that stuff because it's loaded with sodium and chemicals and
mm-hmm,
other things. But the whole process, it's an evolutionary process for us. Don't try to do it all at once. Life is a long-term game.
mm,
Problem is we live in a short-term world. So we're taught everything is instant, instant, instant. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sitting here right now. I'm waiting for a whole bunch of packages from Amazon to get delivered. I'm waiting for them. But life is a long-term game.
Right.
Learn to think in decades, but then act daily. See, everything you eat today is going to affect you 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now if you're still alive.
Yeah.
It's going to
One of my favorite sayings is Rome wasn't built in a day, but it did get built.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
you just get started and never stop. That's the secret.
Yeah. I think I was, you kind of answered it because I was trying to figure out, well, when you're that size and you're carrying that much weight, I knew that you had to have a lot of joint pains and stuff like that just starting out. And how did you bypass it? But mentally, how did you push yourself in the beginning to keep going?
First of all, I want to tell you one thing real quick before I answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
I had one day I went to Costco and bought 4 50-pound bags of birdseed. I had them on a cart. So there was 200 pounds of birdseed on the cart. And I'm pushing it through the store, and I'm huffing and puffing as I'm pushing this thing through the store.
Mm-hmm.
And then it dawned on me, I used to carry more than that on my body, excess weight.
Yeah.
And I went, whoa. Yeah, put it in perspective. Okay, now answer your question. I believe you asked me, how did I develop the mindset?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
First of all, again, it was an evolutionary process.
Mm-hmm.
The tipping point was that day when I was totally disgusted with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I said, Stanley, you can be so much and you are wasting your potential. This is disgusting. You want to know the actual words I used?
Yeah, go for it.
I said, this is total bullshit. You're fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I told myself. That's how disgusted I was. And I said, this stops here right now.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Wow.
So it was a mindset shift. It happened right there in an instant. I remember it. I know the date. I pretty much know the time. You know, it was. And that had been building. And that was not the first time I told myself that I needed to do something, but it was the first time I was so disgusted that I became permanently willing to make permanent positive changes for the rest of my hopefully very long, hopefully very happy, hopefully very healthy life. That's it. And you can reach that point. You can reach that point anytime you become permanently willing. I used to say the 3 most important words in the English language were, I love you. Changed my mind. It's there. Are you willing? Because if you're not willing to permanently do what it takes, you're not going to permanently get there. I can promise you that. That's guaranteed. It's a formula. See, that's the CPA in me. I think in formulas. You know, temporary change, temporary results. Permanent change, permanent results. It's that simple. The whole thing is, how do you simplify this? See, that's what I did. My whole career has been taking complicated things and making them simple, as opposed to my wife who takes simple things and makes them complicated.
Right.
You know, but that's a whole nother story. We laugh about that all the time. But, you know, but the point is, how do you make it simple? So I said, what's the goal of this system? I said, okay, the goal is not perfection. The goal is excellence.
Excellence. Nice.
What's the difference? When you're a perfectionist, anything less than perfect's not good enough. You're a failure. You're worthless. Anybody around you, if they weren't perfect, they're worthless. Not good enough. So you beat yourself upside the head. You punish yourself. You feel like crap. You're no good. Okay. Versus, I stopped being a perfectionist. I became a good enoughist. Make good enough your floor. Start from good enough. In your case, you told me before we got on, you and your wife just got back from vacation and you did a lot of walking.
Yes.
And you both said you want to keep doing a lot of walking. Okay. There's your floor. That's good enough. Start there. Good enough is your floor. Okay. Now, just because you're good enough doesn't mean you can't try to be better. And you might want to get better. You know, take that walking every day and say, let's combine that with eating a little bit better, a little bit healthier. I mean, when you were on the vacation, did you eat some yummy garbage food?
I had several key lime pies, and
Yeah. Okay. Whereas
I'm like, hey, I honestly went to the original key lime pie house, found one of the best key lime pies I've ever had in my life, and I went there probably twice during the time we were there because I tried a different parts of the island, and I'm like, nowhere compared to that, and I kept going back to them. But anyway,
that's like going to New Orleans and going to get beignets. Okay.
yes,
Okay. Yeah. Cave du Monde. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Do you remember what that pie tastes like?
absolutely.
Can you taste it right now?
Now that you mention it, my tongue just started watering.
Okay. Now, here's the difference.
Yeah.
You just had that pie, but you didn't put it in your mouth.
Don't tease me like that.
You did. No, I'm not teasing. It's the truth. You enjoyed that pie. Remember when I told you I made permanent changes the second time I lost weight? You know what the permanent change was? I would get up in the middle of the night and eat full meals.
Yeah.
Well, when I started getting up in the middle of the night, at the time I was eating Weight Watchers entrees. That's what I was eating mostly.
Mm-hmm.
What I thought was healthy then would not fit my definition of healthy today. But when I woke up in the middle of the night wanting to eat, I'd go to the freezer. I'd pull one of those out of the freezer. I would look at the picture. I would imagine what it tasted like. I said, that was good. And then I would put it back in the freezer and I'd go to sleep. That broke me from the habit of eating meals in the middle of the night. And that one change was good for a 40-pound permanent weight loss right there.
Wow.
So my point is, I'm not saying never eat another piece of key lime pie again. I'm just saying that, it's funny you say key lime pie. A couple of weeks ago, my wife and I were walking in the neighborhood. One of my neighbors had just made key lime pie, and she was bringing some out, and she asked us if we wanted some. Mm-hmm. And she said, Stanley, I know you're not going to eat it, because she knows my eating habits because I've talked to her husband before. Who, by the way, I call him my protege. He's turned into a walking machine as well. He's doing a lot of walking in the neighborhoods. And when I told him you're my protege, he laughed. He liked that. So I took that key lime pie and I said, let me smell it. Mm-hmm. And I smelled it. I could identify all the ingredients in the pie. I could imagine exactly what it tasted like. And I said, that was good. And then I didn't eat it. Mm. Now, look, I'm not saying never eat key lime pie ever again. But maybe sometimes when you're thinking about it, just imagine you had it and don't go get it. Mm. Same thing with the scotch. You want to drink scotch? Well, I know what it tastes like. I haven't had a scotch in 17 years. I still know what it tastes like to this day. I know what it tastes like. I know what it makes me feel like. I can imagine it right now without drinking it. You want to quit smoking cigarettes? Pull the cigarette out of the pack, look at it, imagine what it tastes like, imagine what it feels like to smoke it, do deep breathing, then put it back in the pack and don't smoke it. Never light it. Same thing. It applies. Changing your habits. That's how powerful you are. It's all in your, look, you talk about mindset. 90% of what we're talking about is between your ears. Yeah. And the question is, are you going to do powerful thinking up there? Or are you going to do what Zig Ziglar used to call stinking thinking? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That's why I like to hang around good quality people, so that they don't walk through my mind with their dirty feet.
I won't tell you that I went out to the store and bought the ingredients to make a key lime pie for this weekend, but that's a different story.
Well, can I tell you something? If you do it, enjoy it. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you something else. Mm-hmm. Just because you make the pie doesn't mean you need to eat the whole pie.
No, I won't eat the whole pie.
Eat a slice. You have neighbors?
Yes.
You like your neighbors?
Somewhat.
Okay. Well, I know the drill. I know the drill. Give some to them.
Yeah.
Or family or whatever. Take it to work. give it to somebody else, or feed the disposal. It's hungry too.
Mm. Mm. Oh boy, that would be a tough one.
Yeah, but
But
can I tell you something? See, you just put limiting thoughts into your head.
yeah,
That'll be a tough one.
yeah,
And you know what happens if you say it's a tough one? Guess what it's going to be? It's going to be tough.
tough. Yeah.
If you sit there and say, anytime I've tried to do that in the past, it's been tough.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what it'll be like if I try to do that now.
Mm.
Might get a different experience.
Right.
And you want to know something? When you feed the disposal or you flush it down the toilet, you become powerful.
Like it. Like it.
It's all what you want. And like I said, I'm not, and if you do decide to make that pie and you do decide to eat it, please enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I think for me, one of the biggest things was the eating out of boredom.
Yep.
Right.
Been there, done that. It still happens to me.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. It's been from time to time. I get stressed out or anxious or bored, and I get the urge to want to go just shovel something down my mouth.
Yeah.
The only difference is I don't do that anymore. But
Yeah.
I still to this day sometimes get the urge. Still.
I would have times when I was single, I would come home on, say, a Friday night, and I'm like, I'm not going out. I go to the grocery store. I would get everything that I would need for the whole weekend. I would have gotten, a little bit of, Jack Daniels or something.
Yep.
Got a key lime pie. Got some chicken wings and stuff like that. I'm going to cook for the week. The game's coming on. I would come home, pull up in my garage on Friday after work, and you don't see me again until Monday morning when I'm coming back out. And I would sit there and I would have ate a whole key lime pie by myself the whole weekend.
Easy.
And just, and it was nothing to it. And
it's easy. It's easy.
I was happy. I was perfectly content.
Yeah. But what are you doing to yourself long term?
Yeah.
You were
right.
Perfectly content in the short term.
Yeah.
Now, do you think when you're 80 years old, do you think it's possible you might wish you ate a little bit less key lime pie and drank a little bit less Jack Daniels?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not 80 years old yet.
Yeah.
At least I don't think you are.
No.
Okay. Well, have the realization now.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait.
And that's where I did start. I will say, for me, I'm down 43 pounds.
Wonderful.
On my journey. And for me, the wake-up call was seeing a picture of myself next to a picture of my dad. And I looked exactly like him, but I at that time when that picture was taken, I was 6 years younger than he was when he passed away.
Yeah. So on some level, you realized you were going to be dead.
Right. And it started to sink in with me. And so I started making changes. And yes, I did have a lot of key lime pie over the week while I was on vacation, but I did do a ton of walking while we were.
So let me ask you this. Yeah. Let's apply this to your situation.
Yes.
So when did you start? How long ago was it?
I started my journey back in November.
Okay. So this is March. So you started it 4 months ago and you've lost 43 pounds, I think you said.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. First of all, that's phenomenal. That's excellent. But from what you're describing to me, you haven't been perfect, have you?
No, absolutely not.
You know why? Because you're a human being.
Yeah.
But are you proud of yourself?
I am proud of myself because I'm not where I was back in November.
Do you feel better?
I do feel better than I did back then. Yes.
Okay. So I think that's an accomplishment. I think you've done good. This is an evolutionary process.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get to where you were overnight, and you're not going to get to where you want to be overnight. And I got something else to tell you. When you get to where you want to be, guess what?
Okay.
You're going to decide you're not finished. The journey never ends, my friend. See, I got to the point where I got my weight where I wanted it to be. But then I said, maybe if I eat a little bit better food, my energy level will go up. I'll feel better. I'll look better. And all those things. And that's been the case. It is an evolutionary process.
Yeah.
Cut yourself some slack. Be proud of what you have done and keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You're kicking butt.
Yeah.
Look at it this way. Put it in perspective. How many men do you think would like to say they've lost 43 pounds in the last 4 months?
I'm sure that there's probably
Millions.
thousands that would say it.
Millions.
Yeah.
Millions. And if you go worldwide, maybe billions. You've done it.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're kicking butt. Good job. If you make that key lime pie this weekend and you decide to eat some of it, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Absolutely. But maybe at least ask yourself the question, am I okay if I eat a little bit less of it?
Gotcha.
Am I okay if I share it with somebody else, if I give it away?
Yeah.
Am I okay if I feed the disposal that's hungry? If you remember the Flintstones, you ever watched the Flintstones?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The disposal was an animal underneath the sink.
That's right.
That's
right.
Feed it. It's okay.
Gotcha.
And smell it, enjoy it, savor it, eat it more slowly. And keep doing your walking. You're on your way.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you.
But
you
haven't been perfect.
Right.
You're a failure. You're no good. You're worthless. You've screwed up. You want to know something? Anytime those thoughts in your head get into your head, if you don't already have it, you need to install what I call a bullshit detector.
Mm.
You get a thought like that in your head, it goes, bullshit, 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 bullshit.
Mm.
And you see little red lights flashing.
Yeah.
Tell yourself the truth. The truth is you are an imperfect human being who has done very well and is on his way.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I like it.
Keep going.
I like it. So, Stanley, let me ask you this. What was the desire to help other people? Because you have surpassed your goals. Why take the information that you've learned to help other people?
Because it's my purpose in life.
Mm.
Why did I go through these experiences I went through? Why did I put myself through them? Why did the universe put me through these experiences? First of all, if I could, would I change some of the things that happened to me and some of the things I did? Absolutely. I'd change them in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But do I have any regrets for what I went through, what happened to me, and what I put myself through? No.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's no is it was necessary for me to go through these experiences to learn what I have learned, to figure out what I have figured out, and to become the person I am today, who has the knowledge, the power, and I'm not trying to be, egomaniac here, the wisdom to help other people. Because that, my friend, is what life is about. I used to ask a friend of mine who we dated before I got married. We used to have discussions in the middle of the night. What is the meaning of life?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't totally have an answer then. Well, I have an answer now. The meaning of life is to help each other and care about each other. See, the problem is we live in a world where all too often, all too many of us only care about ourselves.
Yeah.
That's it. The solution is start caring about each other.
Yeah.
Start helping each other. It is my privilege to help each other. That's why all the materials on my website are free. It's not that I don't love money. I do. It's not that I don't let people hire me to work with them privately. I do. It's not that I don't want people to hire me privately and work with them. I do. But I also realize that not everyone has money.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize part of the problem is we live in a world where everything is about money. And that's one of the reasons it's all screwed up. So the solution is to remove the money from the equation. Mm-hmm. My books on the website are free. I have 15 books on there, full digital download books. You can download them or read them on the website for free. I have tons of videos explaining the whole system free. I don't want money to get in the way. And I want my message to be pure, or as pure as it can be. And the minute my message becomes my message just for the sole purpose of taking money from other people, it's less pure.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with money. We all need money to live. But the reality is I am fortunate. I am in a phase in my life where I can help others. That's what I'm here for.
That is so awesome.
That's why I do it.
That is so awesome. I'm sitting here on your website right now, thewayofexcellence.com.
Yes.
You mentioned, the material on here is free. Just tell the Manspace Nation just a little bit more about the website and the type of information that they're going to get.
There's three main tabs on the website in the menu. Mm-hmm. I went back a month or two ago and I simplified my website. Mm-hmm. Made it as simple as I could be. Three main tabs. First tab is the system. You start at the top of that, and when you go to thewayofexcellence.com, you're going to go to that main page. That's the main page. Start at the top. It introduces you to the system. It tells you what it's about. It says it's made up of 20 concepts, and it lists them all in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all down to 20. Each one says, click here to watch a video explaining this concept. The videos are 8 to 12 minutes each, except the last one that's about 20 minutes because it wraps everything up. Mm-hmm. They are kid friendly. So if you want to watch the videos with your kids, your grandkids, you can do that too. And they're actually, I think they're halfway entertaining. So they would like that stuff. Watch one a day. In less than a month, you will have learned the whole system. And then you're off. Then you go to tab number 2. Tab number 2 is guidebooks, and it says free guidebooks. They're full-length books, and I've made them available for free, and I already told you why. They're on variety of subjects, all over the board. Relationships, health. I've got one book on there that's about healthy eating. One book on there is just about walking, the power of walking 20 minutes a day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And start reading the books, go through the material. And if weight loss is something you care about, healthy nutrition is something you care about, go to the 3rd tab. It talks about, all kinds of things that talk about weight loss, but also other things like awakening your identity that's inside of you. See, this skinny guy on the right in this picture was inside this big dude on the left the whole time. He was screaming to get out. February 1st, 2009, I let him out. That's the point. So awakening your identity, becoming a different person. It's all in there. And if you just want to learn about healthy nutrition, look, even if you're skinny, I recommend you read this stuff anyway, because so much of the information we get about what's healthy and not healthy is BS. It's given to us by companies who want to make money off of us.
Correct.
You know, one of my favorite doctors, he's whole food, plant-based doctor. His deal is he has books and he sells books. The profit from the sales of his books all go to charity. Same thing. Because he wants to help others. It's not solely about how he can enrich himself. It's not solely about how I can enrich myself. Because I'm going to share a secret with you. Wealth is not just how much money you have in the bank. How many people do you know who are filthy rich
and not happy,
and not happy and don't have their health?
Yeah.
Every single one of them would give their money away if they could get their health.
Very true.
Health is a form of wealth. Bank it. Start eating healthy. Even if you're skinny.
Yeah.
Eat healthy. It's better for you. And I got news for you too. A lot of what I eat is cheaper. I made one of my neighbors down the street. I have a couple of neighbors I actually like. One of my neighbors down the street, she's single.
Yeah.
And she watches her dogs when we're out of town. So, I made her, and I want her to eat healthy. And she likes to eat healthy, but she's too skinny. So I'm trying to put a little meat on her bones, muscle on her bones. So I made her big pot of beans, 8 different kinds of beans in there. And I threw in stuff like peppers, onions, and squash, and tomatoes, unsalted. Made a whole big old thing for her. Then I made her grain. I have this grain mix I made, 8 different kinds of grains. All the protein in them are twice the protein that you'll find in brown rice, and way more protein than you're going to find in white rice, which doesn't have hardly any. So you sit there and do that. And I gave that for her. And I gave her all that stuff. And I said, eat this. That whole thing I made her a week's worth of beans and grain. You know how much it probably cost me? Other than my time? The ingredients may have been $15.
What? Wow.
Because there was no meat in it. But it was loaded with protein. I loaded with protein. Tons of protein. And more importantly, tons of fiber. Fiber is important.
Right.
Everybody talks about, I need to get more protein. They should be talking about, how do I get more fiber?
Right. So I do have another question for you, because there are a lot of people out there, and there's so many ads about the weight loss drugs, the Ozempics, the Wegovy's, and what are your thoughts when it comes to give me your opinion on that?
My thoughts are as follows. First of all, if you're already on the drugs and you want to come to me for help and support, I'm not going to turn you away. I'm not going to shame you for it. But if you're considering going on the drugs or considering having bariatric surgery, go to my website and read all the materials on there and try that first. Because I have experience with people, it'll work. You don't have to go on the drugs to lose weight and to do it in a healthy way. But the drug companies, that's not what they want you to think.
Right.
And they want to make it easy. And see, here's the funny part. Your taste buds change.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chicken wing in probably 12 years.
Mm.
You know, and I got news for you. I don't care how good you make them. I made the best chicken wings on earth. I made a dipping sauce of molasses, pineapple juice, and habanero sauce. And I would dip the wings in them and cook them on the grill so they would come out sticky and glazed.
Yeah.
And hot and spicy. The best wings you ever had. And I can still taste it right now.
Mm.
But I don't make them anymore. And I don't eat them. And I don't miss them. It's all what is important to you. Because the reality is I've had my lifetime share of that stuff. Look, let me ask you. Could I eat a chicken wing right now? Yes. But I think I'm confident enough that I wouldn't backslide. I could eat a cookie right now. I wouldn't backslide. I could drink a shot of scotch. I wouldn't backslide. I could drink a beer. I wouldn't backslide. But the reality is I have no business touching those things. I already had my lifetime share of them. I don't need them anymore. I'm done with them. I am enjoying other experiences. Look, I don't eat those things I used to love. I'll tell you right now, every day when I eat, I love when I eat so much, you don't want to put your hand down in front of me because I may accidentally pick it up and eat it. That's how much I'm going at it when I'm eating.
Yeah.
The only difference is what I'm eating is healthy stuff. That's all.
Understand.
And this was an evolutionary process. I didn't start out this way. It is what I have become. What you're going to become, I don't know. That's for you to decide, not for me. That's why I created the system. The system doesn't tell you what to do. It tells you how life works. It tells you the best things in life, the way it suggests to you, the way you should be, and then it leaves it up to you to apply it to your own life in your own way, in a way that works for you. And you know why? The world doesn't need another Stanley. The world already has one Stanley. It doesn't need another one. But the world does need the best Russ that Russ can be. It needs that.
Awesome.
It needs all of us to be the best we can be. And you know what would happen if all of us around the world, this country and the world, became the best we could be? We'd straighten this crazy world out. Because we live in an incredible world, an abundant world. There is more than enough for all of us. The problem is it's misallocated.
Absolutely.
So let's change it.
Absolutely. So we talked about the wayofexcellence.com. We've already shot into overtime here. Tell the Manspace Nation how they can find you, follow you, get more information about you.
Go to the website. It's got everything there. And at the bottom, it's got, you want to contact me, it's got a button, click it. You can contact me. Please, no spam. I put some new spam filters in about a week ago, and I haven't gotten any spam since then. I was getting a ton of it before that. But just contact me, reach out. If you want to work with me privately, I work with people privately. If you run a company and you would like me to put on a 2-hour webinar for your employees, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. I'll tailor it to what you want, like that. Or just go there and start reading the stuff. Do it on your own, but do it.
Absolutely. Love it. Stanley Bronstein. Gosh, I just sat there and just messed it all up.
You're fine. You're a human being.
Yes, I am human.
Can I share a story with you about messing it up? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
The chart that has the system in it.
Yes.
I noticed about a month ago. You see how everything lines up in this chart, how anal it is. Color-coded everything. I noticed a month ago, there is one word in the chart that is misspelled. I have a 5-foot version of it on the wall behind me and in the other room as well. Mm-hmm. I said, do I want to spend $100 each to go replace those charts? Do I want to correct it in my books? Do I want to correct it on my website? And the answer I came up with was no. And you know why I said no? Because this is the way of excellence. It is not the way of perfection. I must have subconsciously, unintentionally put that mistake in the chart because it belongs there. So I left it.
Wow.
It's in there. You want to spend an hour looking for it? Go for it. It took me a couple of years to find it. And a funny thing
Space Nation, if you find it, send us a message. Let us know that you found it.
Now that I know it's there, it stares me in the face every time I look at the chart. But that's okay because it's a reminder. It's like, what's that saying? Somebody said, "Oh, you got a scar there." Oh, yeah, it's a reminder of what I did to get that scar, so that I don't do it again.
Absolutely. Stanley, thank you so much for spending time with us here. We didn't even get into your CPA work as far as being a lawyer.
Okay, I did 2 tax returns this weekend. If that makes you feel any better.
What is your general practices in law?
Tax and real estate. I do transactions. I keep people out of trouble. I don't go looking for trouble.
So, and where are you licensed to practice?
Texas and Arizona. But right. I don't do a lot of that anymore. I mean, I'm doing this. This is what's more important to me. I still do some of that other stuff, but I'm picky about what I do.
Yeah.
I only want to do good stuff that comes to me. I don't want to handle every little thing that comes through the door anymore.
Absolutely.
Because I don't have to. See, yeah. I'm at a stage in my life where I wake up every morning. I work my butt off every day. But for the most part, I'm working my butt off doing what I want to do, not what I have to do. That's where I'm fortunate. Because when you do what you want to do, it stops being work and it becomes play.
Ah, man, love it.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get there. Long time to get there.
Love it. Absolutely. Thank you again for spending time with us here on the ManSpace. The website, thewayofexcellence.com. ManSpace Nation, go on there, check it out, check out the videos, click on the links, check out the books, get the information, digest it, research it, reach out to them if you got even more questions. And matter of fact, reach out to us and let's start a whole dialogue about it. So, ManSpace Nation,
change your life if you want to. If you want to, change it.
It wasn't built in a day, but it got built. Start now.
Yes.
Until next time, ManSpace Nation, I am Russ, and we are out of here.
No gimmicks, just game that my sure in sight. They shine like the city on a Friday night. Man talk, real talk, that's the way that you bless. Giving knowledge and some laughs in the same finesse. From life goes to the jokes that hit. They the tag team champs, yeah, legit with the wit. So pull up a chair, let the stress digest. From the beat drops, you know the rest. You go chillin' with Russ.